Today we are discussing the installation part. In previous classes, we have covered how to install the hypervisor. We are using Type 2 hypervisor VirtualBox. So today we are going to install the server and one client machine in our hypervisor. Okay, so let me present my screen. Okay, students, my screen is visible to you. So, sir, this is our hypervisor. We are using VirtualBox. Okay, so today we are going to create one server VM and one client VM. For server or for any operating system. If you want to install a operating system, so sir, what you need? You need an ISO file. Okay. So first, I'm going to tell you how you can download the ISO file and what are the requirements to install a Windows server. Okay. So let me open a new browser, and here you have to type Windows Server ISO file download and your name of ISO file. Like if you want to download Windows Server 2022, so mention it here. So like this, and you have to download it from the official website of the Microsoft. There is the official website for downloading the ISO file. So let me open it. Here you will find a download option, ISO downloads. You can download according to your languages, but generally we prefer English US. So this is the ISO file. Just click on it. Like everyone today using 64-bit architecture, there is an option, and now your ISO file is started downloading. Okay, first thing, you need an ISO file to create a VM. Like this is downloading, and you also need one Windows 10 ISO file, like Windows 10 ISO download. Like this is the official website. Just click on this. Here in this website, you do not find the direct download button for the ISO file. First, you have to download one tool, the media creation tool. With the help of this tool, you have to download the ISO file. So first, let me download the tool. This is the media creation tool. Okay, just open the tool. I already have the ISO file, so I'm going to stop it here. Let me show you the Windows 10 process. I already have both the ISO files, so I'm not going to download. I'm just showing you how you can download. Okay. So there is a license. Just simply click on the accept. If you want to read, you can read the terms and condition. This is the licensing agreement. So, sir, now here is the option. What do you want to do? Like there is two options. Upgrade this PC now. If you go with the first option, the tool will help you to upgrade your existing PC. But do not need to upgrade this PC. Just there is a second option, get installation media for another PC. I will click on it. Second option and next. Here is the information about Windows 10 ISO file, architecture, language, and edition. So just I need this, so I'm not going to change it and clicking on the next button. So there is another option. There is option for the USB flash type. If you want to create a bootable media, so you can go with this option. But I just simply want a ISO file. So I click on the ISO file button and click on next. We have to specify the location where you want to download this ISO file. Like you can name it Pin10 and just say. So it will start downloading. Okay, this is the way how you can download the Windows 10 ISO file. And we also covered how we can download the Windows Server 2022 ISO file. Okay, I'm just canceling this program. I do not want to install the ISO file. I have already the ISO file. So, sir, I already have. Let me show you. I have many ISO files like I have the Windows 10 ISO file and Windows Server 2022 ISO file. I also have some other ISO files that I have downloaded previously. So, sir, let's open our VM application like hypervisor. This is our hypervisor. Okay, here we'll got some options like when you are in first time installed the application, you do not have this CentOS. Okay, this is my virtual machine. We'll got this interface where you do not have this CentOS. Okay, so just simply click on machine and new. There is option new. Click on it. After clicking it, there is an option for the name. Just you have to name your virtual machine, which name you are going to provide to the virtual machine. So let me give it a name, Win Server 2022. And here is a folder. Here you have to specify the location where you want to store some files of this VMs. Okay. If you want to change, you can change it. Otherwise, you can go for it. Next steps are ISO image. Here you have to select your ISO image. Like if first we are creating the VM for the Windows server. So here I will select the server ISO file. Okay. So I just simply drag it and click on other. Here I will select my server's ISO file. Here it is. Click on open. So press thing it automatically detect like version type. Okay. Here remember this thing. You must have to click on it like skip unattended installation. Like if you want to install your operating system from the scratch, like a original machine, so you must have to tick on it. Okay. Like here, the memory configuration. You can select the amount of memory that you want. Like I'm going to select 4 GBs of memory. This is RAM, your random access memory. The size is in MBs, so that's why I'm selecting 4096 MB. It is equals to 4 GB. Okay. Next thing, so processor. So if you have processor, a good amount of processor, so you can increase. This is the basic configuration for this VM. If you have a better configuration, so you can allocate. I have some sufficient space, so that's why I'm allocating this space. If you will talk about the minimum space, if you want to install Windows Server, what is the minimum configuration? If you talk about the minimum configuration, so you just need 2 GB of RAM. For the core edition in Windows Server, we have editions, different type of editions like core, desktop experience. We are going to discuss it later in the deeper. Okay. Just for now, if you want to install the Windows Server, so 2 GB RAM is sufficient. Okay. Just click on next. Here is a hard disk. Which hard disk you want to use and which size you want to use. Okay. So here by default it is 50 GB. So it is sufficient for this demonstration. First option here is create a virtual disk now. So it will create a new virtual disk. If you want to use an existing disk of your existing VM, so you can also use the existing disk with the second option. Use an existing virtual hard disk. Okay. There is one more option like pre-allocate full size. If you click on this option, so the entire 50 GB will allocate in your host memory. Okay. You're not going to click on it. We need just if we use, then it will allocate. We do not have to pre-allocate the size. So just we are clicking on next button. There is an overview of our VM, overview of our virtual machine. So sir, just click on finish. So this is our virtual machine. Okay. Next, we're going to create an client machine like Windows 10. So let's first create the VMs, both the VMs. Then we are going to the installation part. Okay. Just let me create one more VM. Students, now help me with the options. What I have to enter here? Like my VM name. So let name it Windows 10. Windows 10. Here's the location where my VM is going to be stored. And there is a option for the ISO file. Here I am going to select the Windows 10 ISO file. And click on the skip unattended installation. Next, 2 GB of RAM is sufficient. And clicking on next, 50 GB of space. Okay, it is sufficient. Now click on next and finish. Now let's start the VM and install our operating system. First, let's install the server. Before going to start your machine, you must ensure some settings in your host operating system. Okay, So let me open my task manager. When you open your task manager, just you find one performance tab. Here you have to go in the performance and CPU. In CPU, you will find one setting like virtualization. Okay. So this setting must be enabled in your system to use virtual machines. So this is the must setting that must be enabled in your system. Okay. So please make sure the virtualization is enabled or not. If it is disabled in your system. So do you know how you can enable this? Any idea, students? Praveen, Sagar, Anup, please respond.
Yes.
Pawan,
Okay.
Sagar, do you know
Correct.
how to enable it if it is disabled in your system?
No, actually.
No. Okay, no
No, sir,
problem.
actually don't know.
Okay, let me tell you. If you want to use a virtual machine, so this setting must be enabled in your system. How you can enable? You can just simply enter in your BIOS. Everyone aware about BIOS?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So according to your laptop brand, laptop, desktop, whatever you have, it must have some brand like Lenovo, Dell, HP. So there is a different case to open the BIOS setting in different laptops. Okay. If you are talking about Dell, Lenovo, there is a F2 key, like function key. F2 function key you have to press during the boot time when you are starting your system. During the boot time, you have to interrupt the booting process and press F2 and the BIOS will open. Okay. In BIOS, you found one setting like virtualization. So you must have to enable it from the BIOS. Okay. So make sure you have enabled this setting. So let me start. I have enabled this setting. So let me start my VM. If you are installing a virtual machine, so I recommend you to turn off the internet connection from the VM. Okay. So it make the entire process more faster. Just what I'm going to do, just click on the machine. There is an option for the machine. Go to the settings. Here you will find a network tab. Okay. So before, if you want a faster tabs, like you want fast installation, so you can do one thing. You can just disable this adapter. Okay. I'm not going to disable it because I'm going to show you the full entire installation process with the help of internet. Okay. So here the installation prompt is open. So let's go for it. The language we generally prefer English US. So we are going with this format and country time we are using English US and keyboard layout we are using US. No problem in it. So click on the next button. Simply click on the install now button. So now here is some additions of Microsoft Windows Server 2022. Okay, so let's understand it first. Sir, there is first option for Windows Server 2022 Standard Evolution, and the second one is Windows Server 2022 Standard Evolution Desktop Experience. Okay, and the third one Windows Server 2022 Data Center Evolution, and the fourth one Windows Server 2022 Data Center Evolution Desktop Experience. Do you know the difference about these versions? No. So let me tell you. If we are installing our Windows Server, so for the interface purpose, we have two options. For the user interface, we have two options. Sir, first one, graphical user interface, and second one, the command line interface. Okay. So if you want to install the core version, like CLI version, so you have to go with the first version, standard evolution. Okay. If you are selecting the desktop experience, so it will install with the GUI version. Okay. If you just want to install the CLI version, so here you can go with standard evolution, and you want to go with the GUI version. So you must install the desktop experience version. Okay. So it is clear what is desktop experience. If you are clicking on the desktop experience edition, so you will get the GUI interface. Sir, okay, it is okay. What is desktop experience? But sir, what about standard evolution and data center evolution? Okay, sir, if your organization is small size organization, like it have 100, 200, 300 clients, so you can go with the standard evolution. But if you are working in large scale organization, so you must install the data center edition. Okay, if you want to manage multiple users, like 500 plus users, so must go with the data center. Okay, data center evolution with desktop experience. It you are going to prefer. But if you have in small organization like 100 users, 50 users, 200 users, so the standard evolution is sufficient for you. So, sir, I am going to install the Windows Server 2022 Standard Evolution Desktop Experience. So, it is the GUI version of Standard Edition. Okay, just I'm going to click on next button. Here you have to accept the licensing. Okay, I'm going to accept it. Click on the next button. Now you will got two options. Which type of installation do you want? So there is first option, upgrade. Like if you have an existing machine and you have to upgrade the operating system, you want your previous files, directories, and all the settings that you have made previously. So you can go for the first option. But if you want a customization, like deciding everything from the scratch. So you must go with the second option. I'm going with the second option, custom. Okay. Here you can do rest things from the scratch. Like if you have a disk, so you can decide the partitions. You can manage your storage with your own. Okay. So I have one disk, 50 GB of disk. We have created a 50 GB of virtual disk. So that's why it is showing only 50 GB of disk. So first, let me allocate this space. If you want to use any storage device, so you must have to allocate the space. Okay. If it is in unallocated state, so you can't use it. So first, you have to allocate this. For allocating this, you must have to create a partition or a volume. Just select the disk and simply click on the new button. Here, by default, the full size, entire size will be selected. Okay. Just click on the apply button and okay. Now wait, your partition will be created here. So now your partition is created. The space is allocated. Okay. Now you have a question. Sir, we have just created one partition. So why extra? Here is two partitions. Sir, we just created one partition. So why it is showing two partitions? Sir, if you create one partition, so by default, one recovery partition, reserve partition will be automatically created. Okay. It depends on your system. Sometimes it creates two extra partitions for the recovery, one for the BIOS and one for the OS. Okay. You just have to install your operating system in the primary partition. If you want to install the operating system, so you must have to select the primary partition. In the system partition, you cannot install. Okay. So you must have to select your primary partition. If you have a good amount of space, like if you have 2 TB of your hard disk or SSD, so it is recommended to create a separate partition for the operating system. Like for the operating system, 300 GB is sufficient. So just create one partition of 300 GB and divide the entire disk into multiple partitions. So if by chance your OS will corrupt, you just simply format your C drive and reinstall the operating system. Just it is recommended. But for the current scenario, we do not have that much space. So just we are creating a single partition. Just click on the next button. Now your operating system is started installing. Just wait for the installation process. Students, do you have any doubt?
No.
Okay. Our server is installing. Let's install our client too. Okay. Let me minimize it. For installing the client machine, I am using another host machine. So I have another machine. Let me connect it. Just I have to turn it on. Okay, no problem. Just 2 minutes. It is installing. Let's get let's see the installation part here. So let's install our client machine. For client, we are using our Windows 10 VM. For server, we have our Windows Server 2022. Okay. By mistake, that extra to his identity. So just ignore it. No problem in it. It is just a name to identify your virtual machine. So if you want a fast installation process, I've told you one recommendation. What's a just turn off the internet connection for your VM. So your installation process will be more faster. So you can do how you can do. Just click on your VM. There is an option for the setting. Just go in network and disable this adapter. There is a network adapter. Just disable it and click on OK. Now let's install this client machine too. Our server is installing. This is ongoing. On the other hand, we are start to install our Windows 10 machine. Just click on the start button. So this is the same installation steps. Here you also have to follow the same installation steps. Okay. Just there is a language for option, keyboard layout. No, just simply click on the next and install now. Here it is asking for the product key that Microsoft Windows 10. It is an proprietary software. Okay. So you must need a product key to you for using the full features. Okay. But currently we do not have the product key. So I'm just clicking on I do not have a product key. We can activate the windows later if we want. So there is additions for Windows 10. I'm going to select Pro, Windows 10 Pro Edition. Okay. Are you aware about these additions? Previously, you have installed any Windows 10 operating system.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this is clear to you, I hope.
Yes.
Okay. Just simply click on the
Can we use
next.
evaluation version of Windows instead?
Yes, you can use, no problem. Like just
Practice purpose.
if you want to install any other version, like education we have, home we have, which one you want, you can use any version you can use. Just tell me which you want. I simply install that version. Yes, suggest if you are suggesting any other version. There are some versions. No. So let's simply install. Let's go with the education. Okay. You can go with any version. Just accept the license and just custom action. I have already explained these things to you. Just it is similar to our server installation, and you also already have installed. So you know about how to install. You have basic idea already. Now it is start installing. Let's look at the server. What about the server? Just few minutes more. It is almost done. Okay. Like if you have any doubt, if you are doing this, so you can freely ask. Like let's revise some steps. If we want to create a virtual machine, so we need one hypervisor application. Okay. For hypervisor, we are using VirtualBox. It is an type 2 hypervisor. Okay. So I'm using VirtualBox. Within the VirtualBox, we have created two virtual machines. The first one is our server VM. Okay. For the server, we have installed our Windows Server 2022 operating system. And second, we have our client VM. In our client VM, we have installed Windows 10 operating system. Okay. So if you want to learn about the server, you must have a proper lab to practice. Okay. So we are just creating the lab scenario where we are going to deploy our services. So you must need one client to test the policies that you are applying. So that's why we are also creating a one client VM. Okay. It is just completed 97%. Just wait. Our server is just restarting. Just wait for it. Our client is also installing. It is our server. So let me tell you some more features about this VirtualBox, our hypervisor. Okay. We are waiting for the machine to ready. Just know some more things about our hypervisor. So if you click on the machine, So here is a setting tab. Just let me explain some settings to you. Here you will get the information about your VM, like this VM. So you can see the settings about your VM. When the state of VM is power off, so you can customize it. Like if you want to increase some RAM, so you can increase it, like it is customizable. So whenever you want to increase your RAM base memory, so you can increase it. Like display settings, you have storage settings. If you want to increase your storage, so in virtual machine, you can increase your storage also. Like for the practice purpose, we have created the machine with the 50 GB of space. But in the later classes, we need some more space. So we can add some space in our virtual machine. We can remove some space. So it is under storage part. Okay. Like we have audio adapters, network adapters, these things we have, like USB, shared folders, these settings we have. Okay. We are going to use these settings in the later sessions. Just don't worry about these settings. And just here is option for the view. Like there is full screen mode. You can adjust the screen size. Okay. There are many settings. You can explore it. Like next devices, if you want a USB for your virtual machine. So there is an option for the USB. Here your device will list. Just click on your device. So you can use USB for your virtual machine. In virtual machine, sometime you will face some problems. Like I think it is freezed. This type of problems occurs in virtual machine sometime. So just don't worry about these problems. Just for a few minutes, I'm stopping this installation of Windows 10. Okay, just let me save the machine state. Just 2 minutes, student. Let me turn on my another server. I think it is stopped stuck, so we have to restart the installation. So I'm let me use my another server machine. The installation is just it. Next, some you have to enter your credentials. Like by default, you have one username like administrator in the server. In the next step, you just have to set one password and the installation is completed. Okay, I have already one server, so let me show you that server. Just give me 2 minutes. Let me turn on my machine. Okay, so just I turn on my another server. Let me connect it to my machine. Just one more minute. There is an electricity problem in my area, so that's why it is some problem today. Okay, let me present my screen. Just a minute. Okay, it is visible to you. After this steps, you just prompt another window where you have to just set a password. Okay, in installation. So just simply set a password. Make sure the password is must be strong. After setting your password, you will got your login screen. Okay, fine. Here is the server. In server, let me explain some things to you. So it is our server. In server, first the server manager will automatically open when you start your server for the first time. This is the server manager application used to manage your server with the centralized location. Okay, so it is our server. So in the server manager, if you want to install any feature, you can install it from the here. Okay, let's suppose. Okay, so this is your server manager. First, whenever you install your operating system, so there is some settings that you have to make sure. Okay, first thing is IP address. Let's verify which IP address you are using. When we talk about our virtual machine, okay, so must check which IP address you are using. Okay, students. So this is one virtual machine that I have. So in this, I have set some IP address. Okay. So first you have to verify the IP settings. Are you aware about IP addresses? Salman, you know about IP address? No? Okay, no problem. Like if we want to create a network and if we want to communicate. So for communicating, we have two type of addresses. Okay. So first one is MAC address and second one is IP address. If you are communicating in the local area network, so MAC address is sufficient. You can communicate with the help of MAC address. But if you want to communicate with outside of your network, so you must have an valid IP address. Okay, so we need an IP address. Like we have two type of IP address, IPv4, IPv6. So we are generally focusing on IPv4 address. So first you have to make sure the IP settings. Like in server, if you want to check the IP, so this is our server. If you want to check the IP address, you can open your CMD and just press Window plus R and write CMD and click OK. So here you have to type one command, IP config. Okay, just click on enter. Here you will find some name of adapters. These are total all adapters that are present in your server. Okay. First, Ethernet adapter, Ethernet adapter 2, and I am using some VMs. So these are adapter for our VMs. I am actually using the Ethernet adapter 2. Okay. So here you will find the IP address, like IPv4 address. It is my IPv4 address. I'm using a private address. You use our private IP address in your local network. If you want to go from outside your network, you will use network address translation. So it is your IP address. You can also see this with the help of graphical user interface. Just you have to type one command, ncpa.cpl. After entering, this prompt will be open. This is the network connections tab. Here you will find your adapters, like network adapters. So currently I am using the Ethernet 2 adapter. You can right click on it, click on status, and click on details. So here you can verify your IP address. Okay. So if you want to change the IP address, so you can change it, like here is a properties tab, properties button, just click on it. And here you will find an option Internet Protocol version 4. So from here, you can edit your IP address. You can change your IP address. I'm okay with this address, so I do not have any problem. Okay. So this is my server. My IP address is correct. I can also verify it with the help of server manager. Okay. So let me open the server manager. Here I'm going in local server tab. Like here, Ethernet 2. This is our IP address. So from here, you can also verify our IP address. Here, with the you must have a connectivity with your client. So your server and client must be in same network. Okay. So let's suppose I have my server machine. This is my server. And this is my client machine. These both machine must be in same network. Okay. Within the same network. So they must have same network IDs. Okay. So I have checked the IP address in my server. So my network is just 192.168.1.0. This is my network ID. This is subnetted by /24. Okay. I must have to verify the client is also in the same network. So let's verify from the client end. Yeah, let's delete this. For client, you can use the same command. Which command, sir? ipconfig. Just open cmd and client machine. You can verify it with the same command. Okay. So which command? ipconfig. So like this way, you can check the IP addresses. If both are in the same network, so they must have a communication. So you can check the connectivity with the help of ping command. Okay. So your both the devices must be communicate. So you can use ping command to check the connectivity. Like just type the ping command and enter the IP address of your client machine. Let's suppose the IP address of my client is this. Just I have to type like this. Just wait for the response. If it is connecting, so it will show you the proper response, but it is not available. It is not communicating. So it will show you like this. Request timeout. Let me try with the different IP. Like there is one tool if you want to know the active host in your network or the IP address that is occupied. There is a one tool. Let me tell you about this. This is the advanced IP scanner tool. Okay. If you want to know the live host in your network, so you can also use this tool. This is an useful tool you can use in your journey. Okay. Just click on scan. So it will show you the available hosts. Like this is the interface of VMware workstation. Okay. If you are not familiar with VirtualBox, so you can also use VMware. It is also in type 2 hypervisor. Okay. So you can also use VMware workstation. Here is a similar steps to create a virtual machine. Like if you want to create a virtual machine, just simply click on create a new virtual machine. Here, the typically the recommended step, just click on the next button. Here you have to select the ISO file. Just browse. You can browse your ISO file and select it. So let me select. So, like let's suppose Windows 10. Click on next. There is a name for your virtual machine. Then click on next. There is a space hard disk, virtual disk that you are assigning. Just click on next. This is a summary and just do not, I do not want to power on this machine. Just click on finish. Okay, now your virtual machine is created successfully. This is about another hypervisor, VMware Workstation Pro. So with the help of advanced IPN scanner, you can check the active host in your network. So your server must be in the same network with your client and both have a proper communication. So, like if we have a proper connection, so we see something like this, like reply from the host. There is a host IP address where we are trying to check the connectivity and the bit, the time, detail, all the information. The output is looks like this. That means the connection is established properly. Okay. Like if you want to unlock your server in our hypervisor, like we are using VirtualBox. So if you see here, there is a message, press Control Alt plus Delete to unlock. Okay. If you simply click on this, so this will not unlock. Okay, let me show you. Just Control Alt and Delete. So it will not unlock. To unlock your server in VirtualBox, you have to press Control Delete button. Okay, like there is, you find input option. You can just simply go in input and keyboard. Your keyboard you will find insert Control Alt Del. So it will unlock. Otherwise, you can just press Control or Del. So it will open. Just you have to enter your password and log in into your system. And you log in, the server manager will automatically prompt you. Whenever you open your server, so the server manager will automatically open. Just wait, the server manager is opening automatically. So from the local server, you can get information about your server. This is the information about this server. There is an also I am using multiple IP address. So in one server, you can also use the multiple IP addresses. Okay. So this is clear. This is today we are complete the installation part. There is some connectivity problem, so there we face some problems, but overall installation is like that. First, you have the option to select the language and keyboard layout. Next, there is an install button. You find install button. You just click on the install button. Next, you'll prompt two options like upgrade or custom. You have to select the custom option where the disk management is open. So you have to create a partition. Okay. After creating the partition, you just have to click on the next after selecting your partition. Then the installation process will be started. After the completing the installation process, the machine will be restart. And next, in the next step, you'll prompt to enter a password. where you have to set your password for your server. Then, after setting the password, you are going to prompt for the login page. You just have to log in. When we talk about the server, the username is by default administrator. So there is no option to change the username. So the by default username is administrator for your server. So it just prompt you to enter the password for the username. Okay. So I think let's end this class for today. We will continue our discussion tomorrow. So it is okay for today. Hello. I am audible.
Yes, yes, you are audible. So, Priyansh, so good to go for today, or we need to extend?
Yeah.
I think good to go for today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll connect by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, thank you for the time today, Priyansh.
Yes, sir.